I'm Crystal Craven, a singer, a songwriter, and a worship leader who's passionate about sharing what God inspires. And this is your weekly devotional. Luke 8:23-24 says, "So they set out, and as they sailed, Jesus fell asleep. And a windstorm came down on the lake, and they were filling with water and were in danger. And they went and woke him, saying, 'Master, Master, we are perishing.' And he awoke and rebuked the wind and the raging waves, and they ceased, and there was a calm." Now, when we look at this, when the disciples were afraid at the windstorm that had arisen, we read that they were in danger as the windstorm was actively filling their boat with water. They could have struggled a bit more, trying to navigate the boat by themselves through the windstorm. After all, several of them were experienced fishermen, having grown up on the lake. But we see their experiences with Jesus trumped their experience on the lake. The disciples had been following Jesus and had seen the things that he was doing in their lives and in the lives of others with the authority that he regularly displayed. So they turned and called out to him, their personal teacher and their leader, when they had found themselves in this need. In the midst of the storm and the danger, instead of relying on their own knowledge and experience, they went to Jesus. Now, many of us nowadays probably don't live lives where we regularly find ourselves in much physical danger the way that the disciples did in this situation. But we all have times of feeling fear and doubt and uncertainty, and we should make the habit of going to Jesus in those times of faltering. Now, you all heard the Ghostbusters thing, right? Who are you going to call? Okay, well, in an era of technology and academia and government programs and all these things, right, designed to help people nowadays, it can be very tempting to seek out other things when we have a need for help. And while in some instances you may find adequate help in those things, or God may even choose to use other sources to aid you, it is telling of your heart whether you turn to God first during your times of need. We as human beings will naturally look to whatever we trust most when we need help. Now, this can be a really hard heart check moment. I want to ask you a question and have you seriously ponder this in yourself. Who do you find yourself turning to lately when you need help? Is it yourself? Maybe your spouse, a parent, your pastor, your friends, maybe your government? If it's anything other than God, it's time to repent and make God your fortress and take him up on being your ever-present help in time of need. Now, think on the experiences that you've had where, God has met you and he's been faithful to help in your situation. Now, you may not have turned to him at first in those other situations. Maybe the outcome may not have turned out the way that you wanted, but I can guarantee you God was faithful to you. God has been faithful to you in your past, and you can trust that he will continue to be faithful in your present and in your future. When you are in danger, or even when you're not in danger, but you're feeling fearful and you need help, I encourage you, go to Jesus first. For blogs, written devotionals, and originally written songs, visit crystalcravenmusic.com, and that's Crystal with a K.